I'm down here in the Dynamo Room with Andy, who's been our awesome guide throughout this entire process. He wanted to show us something really interesting with these crew lockers behind us. I'm Trevzor, and this is Talkin Ship. All right, we're back here in front of these crew lockers down in the Dynamo Room. Andy, you said there's something really interesting in here. So what are you going to show us in these unassuming lockers?
Well, let me show you.
All right, let me take this for you. All right, I'm going to follow you with the mic.
So all of these lockers, this was about the only personal space a sailor had aboard. So he had his own locker. So, of course, personal space, and these being young kids.
Sure.
A lot of times they would write notes on their locker just like kids do today in school. This is one of my favorite ones because this guy was the guy to know on board the ship.
Oh, yeah?
I think, yeah. So just a few things on here. Up here we got Frankfurt Distilleries, Inc., Dixie Highway, Traffic Department, Louisiana, Kentucky. So it appears he had the hookup for some whiskey, perhaps. Okay. And as you probably know, alcohol was banned on U.S. naval warships very early on in the Texas career. In fact, she was launched or commissioned in March, and they outlawed alcohol in April.
I didn't know that, and it sounds like it would make the trip even worse.
Absolutely. So we got the alcohol right here. Looks like he was running book, too. So you got a $10 bet, $5.50 paid, $4.50 out. My favorite, though, is this one right here. If the war is not over, November, Bates owes me $25. Hopefully, Bates paid up on that bet because, as you well know, the war was over before November.
Yeah.
But you also got a number of other things. There's some phone numbers here.
Those are some short phone numbers.
Yes. Well, this was in the 40s.
Well, I mean, one of them has an actual letter in it. It's 1391-M.
Yeah. So there's another locker over here that I'd like to show you that kind of talks about the history of the ship.
Awesome. Let's check it out.
All right. So this one. Oops. All right. So here we go. Same thing. Again, these are, each of these individual sailors had their own locker. This was their personal space.
Sure.
So this one has some real interesting stuff. Obviously, it's got a few phone numbers, addresses, don't know who those are for. But this part right in here, to me, is very fascinating. Because one of the least heralded missions that the Battleship Texas ever did was Operation Magic Carpet, which was at the end of the war. She brought home over 4,200 sailors, Marines, soldiers from the Pacific to the west coast of the U.S. So this is actually, this crew member was on board for those Magic Carpet rides, all of them. And he talks about San Pedro, California, Pearl Harbor. So they left California, went to Pearl Harbor, pick up the sailors, brought them back to San Francisco, went back to Pearl Harbor, brought them back to San Diego, went to Long Beach, went back to Pearl Harbor, San Diego, Long Beach. And then the end of life, service life for the ship went to Panama, then around to Norfolk, and ended up in Norfolk in February 1946.
Wow.
Now, the really cool thing about these Magic Carpets is this very last one from Pearl to San Diego and Long Beach. These normally took a couple of weeks.
I can imagine.
But this one was scheduled to get in to the west coast of the U.S. after Christmas. The captain said, no way. And he fired those engines and got there on Christmas Eve.
That's really impressive. I think that's a really awesome look into history here because, I mean, these are the stories that you don't get on other history shows, like the individuals so much. It's about like the ship as a whole and everything like that. This is some kid who's 19, 20, 21 years old who's down here in the Dynamo Room of Battleship Texas.
Absolutely.
And they're just trying to write their story.
Yeah.
So that's awesome. Thank you so much for the information and for showing us this crazy look into history. I hope it gets preserved down here forever and you can see it for ages.
Well, and this is why we preserve it. It's this is a cool steel and wooden ship, but there was some
real
blood and bone that made this ship go.
Some graphite that makes the difference.
There
right?
you go.
Fantastic.
There you go.
Well, thank you so much, Andy. It's been fantastic. And
Pleasure
thank you guys.
you.
Thanks for you guys for watching. This has been Talkin Ship. Good luck, fair seas. We'll see you out there. Remember, everybody, Battleship Texas needs your help.
Yes, come visit her or go to our website, battleshiptexas.org. Battleship